This is chat.com. OpenAI's Sam Altman recently acquired this domain for $15 million from HubSpot co-founder Dharmesh Shah in a transaction that likely involved OpenAI shares. On November 7th, 2024, Altman simply tweeted chat.com, which now redirects to the ChatGPT website. The minimalist announcement went viral, garnering over 3 million views, and appears to be part of OpenAI's strategy to simplify its branding by moving away from the GPT nomenclature. This is only one recent example of the high-stakes world of domain name acquisitions. The internet's digital real estate market has seen some jaw-dropping transactions over the years, with companies and investors battling for prime online property. But what makes a domain name valuable, and what have been some of the most expensive domains ever sold? I'll also discuss the stories of the acquisition of domains of some of the most well-known tech companies on the planet. And stick around until the end to see how someone bought the domain google.com for under $15 back in 2015. But first, what makes a domain name valuable? Well, there are a number of things that companies watch out for to get the right domain. Firstly, length is key. Shorter domain names are like gold. They're easier to remember, easier to type, and easier to share. Think of iconic sites like google.com or amazon.com. Brevity is their charm. Next, brandability is super important. A memorable and unique name can create a lasting impression. Names like Zappos or Spotify are not just domains, they're brands that resonate with consumers. The name Spotify is catchy and easy to remember, making it stand out in a crowded market. Its unique sound evokes a sense of fun and creativity, which aligns perfectly with the brand's mission of delivering personalized music experiences. And finally, the extension matters. The right top-level domain can enhance credibility. A .com is still king, but niche domains like .io or .ai are gaining ground in tech circles. And with .com domains becoming saturated, other top-level domains such as .io and .ai offer more opportunities. But what are some of the record-breaking domain acquisitions that have happened in the past? Business.com is one of the most well-known domain name acquisitions. Initially purchased in 1999 for $7.5 million by eCompanies Ventures, Business.com underwent significant changes over the years. After struggling through the dot-com bubble and retooling its business model, the company achieved profitability in 2003. The domain's value skyrocketed, and on July 26, 2007, R.H. Donnelley Corporation announced plans to acquire Business.com in a deal valued at $345 million, outbidding major media companies like Dow Jones & Company and the New York Times Company. The acquisition closed on 23rd August 2007, marking one of the most expensive domain name sales of its time, and demonstrating the immense value placed on premium business-oriented domain names. And although that price was paid for the entire company and its operations, the domain name was a significant part of the inherent value. But even Business.com doesn't match the price paid for another domain, which is perhaps ranked as the most expensive domain sale in history. Cars.com ticks all the boxes of a valuable domain name I talked about earlier. It's short, memorable, is clear what the domain relates to, and is a .com. And this is perhaps the best example of the value of such domains. Cars.com was acquired by a Gannett company in 2014 for a staggering $872 million, making it the most expensive domain sale in history. Previously owned by Classified Ventures LLC, a joint venture between Gannett and a few other companies, the domain was part of a larger $2.5 million acquisition. On August 5th, 2014, Gannett bought out the remaining stakes in Classified Ventures, which included the Cars.com domain. The valuation of $872.3 million was specifically attributed to the domain and trade name in Gannett's SEC filing, highlighting the immense value of this digital asset in the automotive classified website market. But then what about the domains of tech companies you and I use on a daily basis? How did they get their domains, given they had developed a brand first and they wanted the right URL? We all know the story of Facebook, from having watched The Social Network, the tale of a heartbroken Mark Zuckerberg who transforms his breakup angst into a billion-dollar idea, and in the process gets given some advice by Napster's bad boy Sean Parker.
Drop the, just Facebook. It's cleaner.
Facebook acquired the Facebook.com domain in August 2005 for just $200,000. This relatively modest sum for such a valuable domain highlights how different the domain market was in the early days of social media. However, just a few years later, everything changed. You see, Zuckerberg also wanted the domain FB.com, but in order to get this, Mark Zuckerberg acquired FB.com from the American Farm Bureau Federation, the voice of American agriculture, in 2010 for $8.5 million. What's interesting is that Facebook primarily used it for internal employee email addresses, showing the lengths companies will go to protect their brand and create a cohesive online presence. But rebrands can be expensive, something Zuck found out when he rebranded Facebook to Meta, reflecting the company's pivot towards the metaverse. Mark Zuckerberg acquired the rights to the Meta name and trademark in December 2021 for $60 million. And although this price was for the Meta trademark and assets from Meta Financial Group, a South Dakota-based bank, the domain was a significant proportion of the value. But Elon Musk at Tesla had to persevere for longer to get his domain name. In February 2016, Elon Musk finally acquired Tesla.com for $11 million from Stu Grossman, a longtime domain owner who had defended the domain against previous legal challenges. This took Elon over a decade to acquire, and was not before another company, Tesla Industries Inc., unsuccessfully tried to acquire the domain. Prior to this acquisition by Elon, Tesla operated under TeslaMotors.com, which limited the company's branding as it expanded beyond automotive products. The purchase became crucial as Tesla began diversifying into energy products like the Powerwall and solar roof tiles, making the more generic Tesla.com more representative of the company's broader vision. Musk confirmed the price tag in a tweet in 2018, revealing that the domain acquisition was not just about web presence, but also about securing brand identity, preventing potential email spoofing, and positioning Tesla as more than just a car company. The domain change symbolized Tesla's evolution from a niche electric car manufacturer to a comprehensive clean energy and technology enterprise. But there are some companies that never had a problem acquiring their chosen domains. Apple, for example, acquired their domain in the 1980s when processes were manual and there was no competition in getting a domain name. Similar story with Amazon when Jeff Bezos acquired his domain in the early 1990s, and with Google when Larry and Sergey acquired their domain easily in the late 1990s. But there is one story about the Google domain which demonstrates a wrinkle in the system, which allowed someone to buy the Google domain for under $15 just a few years ago. In September 2015, a former Google employee named San Ved discovered that Google.com was somehow available for purchase on Google domains. He completed the purchase for just $12, and his credit card was actually charged. The transaction went through, and Ved technically owned the domain for about a minute. During this brief period, he received a flood of information from Google users, though he couldn't change the homepage. Google quickly cancelled the transaction, and impressed by Ved's discovery of this security vulnerability, offered him $6,006.13, a numerical play on the word Google. When Ved announced he would donate the money to charity, Google doubled the reward. Premium domains have become the ultimate power move in the digital economy, with savvy entrepreneurs and tech giants recognizing that the right domain name is more than just an address. It's a brand, a market position, and potentially a goldmine. Domain name transactions reveal a fascinating truth. In our internet-driven world, the right combination of words can be worth more than prime real estate in Manhattan, Mayfair, or Monaco. Thanks for watching. If you enjoy hearing about stories in tech and you want to support us in our show, the best thing you can do is to subscribe. See you for the next one.